On today's episode of the Fresh Brew Run Club, it is my 175-mile review of the Nike Vomero Plus. Welcome to the Fresh Brew Run Club. My name is Aaron, and today we have another shoe review. It's been a busy summer. I have not made quite as many videos as I would have liked over the past couple months, but here we are with a fresh brew shoe review for you. Didn't mean to rhyme that. But anyway, today I have my 175-mile review of the Nike Vomero Plus. So I made an initial review of this shoe, but I think the best way to give a proper, full, comprehensive review is to run at least 100 miles. I got 175 miles in this shoe, so I'm excited to talk about my thoughts about the Vomero Plus. So if you're not familiar with the Vomero Plus, the Vomero line is Nike's like cushioned daily trainer line of shoes. There's the Vomero 18, which I made a bunch of videos about. I've bought 2 pairs of them. I thought they're a great shoe. There's the Vomero Plus, which is like a little more cushioning than the initial Vomero. It's all Zoom X foam. It is a real max cushion shoe. I don't think the 18 is a max cushion shoe. I think the Vomero Plus is a true max cushion shoe. And then we have the Vomero Premium, which comes out in a couple weeks. I think it's actually supposed to show up to my door today or tomorrow, so I'll do a review about that once I get it. But anyway, we're gonna focus on the Plus today. It's a max cushion shoe. It's a true max cushion shoe. One of the things I wanted to answer in the original video about the shoe was, is it a successor to the Invincible line? Absolutely it is. It's the Invincible 4. Let's just be honest. There are some differences between the previous Invincible line and the current Vomero Plus, but if you liked the Invincibles, you're really gonna like the Vomero Plus. This is an easy run shoe. It's a recovery shoe. It can get some daily miles in. It can get a little bit of speed. I think the Zoom X foam is light enough where it's not gonna feel too bulky if you wanna pick up the pace just a little bit. It's not like a speed workout shoe by any means, but it can get a little bit of speed thanks to that wonderful Zoom X foam in the midsole. So let's talk about the fit of this shoe. I'm a size 10. I got a size 10. I would say this shoe is true to size with a little bit of room in the toe box area. I would not get a size down. I think that would probably be too tight of a fit around my foot, so I would recommend getting true to size. I didn't have any issues with like the heel lock, the way that the shoe locks around my heel. There were many problems with the Invincible 3s. People really did not like that shoe because it kind of slipped off your heel unless you did a runner's knot. No issues here. The heel area is very well padded. The lockdown is great, so you're not gonna have any issues with the fit of this shoe. So let's talk versatility. I touched on this a little bit before. After running 175 miles in this shoe, I would say it is somewhat versatile. Again, it skews more towards the slower, easy run side of things, of the speed spectrum, but you can get a little speed if you want. I would just be very careful around the corners. This isn't the most stable shoe if you're rounding a corner or doing a sharp corner at a higher speed. I have felt my foot kind of shift on the ground running in this shoe, so just be careful around the corners. All right, quick editor's note. I filmed the talking portion of the video yesterday. Today I'm capturing the slow motion footage. As I was filming the slow motion footage to show how there's a little bit of lack of stability when you round a sharp corner, I captured the footage and then I had to make another sharp corner after I ran past the camera to avoid a curb, and yeah, I twisted my ankle. So Ooh. The lesson today is be very careful with this shoe when you are trying to capture slow motion footage to show that it isn't the most stable shoe when rounding a corner. I did a little minor damage to the upper, and then somehow my other shoe got damaged. I fell on the ground, little skinned knee, nothing major. My ankle feels fine. I should be okay. But just a warning to you, when you're trying to intentionally make the shoe lose stability, you might actually lose stability and fall on the ground in the middle of a park in a neighborhood. So let that be a lesson to all of you with the Vomero Plus. Back to the review. One of the things I thought was interesting, I got a couple questions on my initial video about, is this a good shoe for a marathon? Which I would say, if you are in the 4-hour marathon range, this is actually a really good shoe. I wore the original Invincibles in a marathon, and for that marathon, I wanted 2 things. A shoe that was somewhat lightweight, which it was, and a shoe that was gonna keep my feet comfortable while I'm running on them for, 3.5 to 4 hours. I think this shoe is great for it. It's actually better than the Invincibles if you are running in that 4+ hour range. Nothing wrong with that pace, but if you're running for that length of time, you're gonna wanna prioritize something that's gonna be comfortable on your feet, not necessarily the fastest shoe in the world. You don't need a super shoe. You don't need a carbon fiber plated shoe. I would actually recommend the Nike Vomero Plus if you are running like a 4-hour or more marathon. So 175 miles in these shoes. One of the things that I value a lot in a pair of running shoes is durability. I buy my own shoes with my own money with the intention of getting as many miles as I can out of them. It's why I don't review every single shoe that ever comes out, because A, that would be very expensive, and B, I want to run in the shoes that I purchase as much as I possibly can. So far, when it comes to durability, the Vomero Plus has been pretty durable. The number one thing that I tend to wear down first is the outsole rubber, especially in the heel area. I'm a bit of a heel striker, so that's where I kind of get a burn spot, and then I will burn through that outsole rubber pretty quickly and get to the midsole foam. I've had this issue with a lot of Nike shoes. I think they just have a very soft outsole rubber that I just get to that midsole foam, and once you get there, then it can like soak up water and the shoe just starts to disintegrate a little bit. 175 miles into the Vomero Plus, and I have not done that yet. So a very durable outsole compared to my previous experience with various Pegasuses and Invincibles, where I did burn through that outsole rubber pretty quick. Not the case here. The midsole foam is also in pretty good shape. No rips, no tears. You know, it's a little bit dirty, but I run in my shoes to run in them, so of course they're gonna get dirty. And then the upper is also in great shape. I tend to kick the inside of my ankle area, which in other shoes that has like ripped and started to tear. No issues so far with this. You can see the dirt stains from me doing that in these shoes, but nothing has been ripped, nothing has been damaged. So as far as durability goes, after 175 miles, they're in pretty good shape. I will make a probably 300, maybe a 350 mile review that specifically focuses on durability, like how many miles can you actually get out of this shoe. So subscribe to the Fresh Brew Run Club so you don't miss that video. And then just overall, as far as like how do these feel when running, the ZoomX foam midsole, it's a big chunk, but it still feels pretty cushioned, pretty springy. It's not like dead yet, which can be an issue with some of these max cushion shoes. Like you just reach a certain point and then they're just not very like responsive. The foam just doesn't give you that bounce or that spring or whatever it's supposed to do. That's not the case. I haven't noticed that yet with 175 miles, but I mean, this shoe costs $180, so it better last more than 175 miles. So speaking of the price, let's talk cost benefit analysis. This shoe retails for $180 US, which that's on the pricier side, but honestly, I think it's probably worth it. Just running shoes in general have gotten a lot more expensive over the past couple of years. So like the baseline price of what a running shoe costs keeps increasing. I don't love paying $180 retail for this shoe. Am I getting my money's worth out of it? So far, yes. That ZoomX midsole foam is fantastic. I do think it's a pretty good price. Again, a little bit expensive, but if you're creative, if you go on StockX, maybe you can find a couple pairs of these for under retail and save a few dollars there. I would actually recommend, if you're considering the Vomero 18, which is I think $155 right now, versus the Vomero Plus, I would spend the additional dollars to get the Vomero Plus. I think it is that much better of a shoe. It's just more comfortable. It has more of that ZoomX foam. I prefer that shoe to the Vomero 18, which is a fine shoe, but I think you do get a lot more for your money when you spend $180. I almost did the McDonald's jingle right there, so I apologize for that, but $180, like I said, a little pricey, but I do think you can get your money's worth out of this shoe as long as it lasts for like at least 300 miles. My hope is I can get like maybe 350, 400 miles out of this. We'll see. Subscribe so you don't miss that future video. Now, I got a lot of questions in the comments of my initial review video about other shoes. So there are two shoes that people were asking about, like, does this compare? The first of which is the Asics Super Blast 2. You know, is this a Super Blast 2 competitor? I would say definitively this is not a Super Blast 2 competitor. The Super Blast 2 is a much lighter, faster shoe. This is a recovery shoe. It's an easy run shoe. It's a heavier shoe. I've said before that I think the Super Blast is like one of the more versatile shoes on the market. Like, you can do fast workouts, you can do easy runs, no problem in that shoe. This one I think would struggle to push the pace. Like, if I took it out on the track for a speed workout, I don't think it'd be the greatest. So this is not a Super Blast 2 competitor. It's just too heavy, too chunky, too much of a max cushion shoe, where that Super Blast 2 is more of like a, I don't even know, like a tempo run shoe. I don't know technically what it's referred to, but it's just lighter. It's much more responsive. There's less foam. Like, you can feel the ground beneath your feet in the Super Blast 2, whereas this shoe, the Vomero Plus, sort of shields your precious feet from feeling all the rocks and the stones and the undulations, scientific term, the undulations on the sidewalk. The other shoe that people asked about was the Adidas Evo SL, which I have also run a decent amount of miles in that shoe. I made a video about it. I liked it. I had to make some changes to make that shoe work for me. I would say that this is also not a competitor to the Evo SL. I think the Evo SL is much more of like a daily trainer with a little bit of like racing technology incorporated, especially in the upper. It's that lightweight upper. Whereas again, this is a max cushion shoe. The upper on this shoe is actually very padded, very cushioned, very soft, whereas the Evo SL is just like very thin, you know, kind of a minimalist approach. The Vomero Plus is also a much softer shoe, where the Evo SL to me was much bouncier. It's kind of like a memory foam mattress versus a bouncy ball. Both have their purposes. Obviously, you can have a great nap on a memory foam mattress, and you can just have a grand old time with a bouncy ball, but two very, very different experiences, for me at least, when I was out running. Also, this shoe is much more comfortable for me than the Evo SL. I had to switch out the insole of the Evo SL so that my feet didn't hurt after runs. I had to change the laces, I had to relace them, I had to make all these adjustments to make that shoe work for me, and eventually it did. It's a great shoe, but with the Vomero Plus, I didn't need to make any sort of modifications right out of the box. I put them on and they were fantastic. Speaking of modifications out of the box, do you need to break this shoe in? Not really. I think it's pretty good. That ZoomX foam is soft enough where your first run in this is gonna feel really good. I think any shoe needs to be broken in a little bit just so it forms to your foot, you know, over the course of a couple runs. But right out of the box, this was a comfortable shoe, so no issues with breaking the Vomero Plus in. So overall, this is a great shoe. I think I've said a lot of positive things, not really too many negatives about this shoe other than maybe the price. Maybe it's not a shoe that is gonna be able to do every single workout that you wanna do. I really enjoyed running in this. I do plan on running more miles, which gets me to my overall rating, my proprietary 3-tier rating system, where I have the first level, which is trash 'em. That means I just stop running in the shoe. There's keep 'em, which means I'm gonna run as much as I can in this shoe, but I probably won't buy a second pair and then buy them again, which means I'm gonna run as much as I can in this pair, and I like them so much, I'll buy another shoe. So far, I would buy another pair of this shoe, which is the highest, best rating I can give a running shoe. There's a pigeon. Anyway, so high marks for the Nike Vomero Plus from the Fresh Brew Run Club proprietary 3-tier rating system. So that'll be the video for today, the 175-mile review of the Nike Vomero Plus. Let me know what you think. Have you run in this shoe? Have you gotten 100, 150, 200 miles in this? Let me know how that experience is going. And as always, I'm happy to answer any questions in the comments below. So thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you soon. So I have made an initial review. This is a disaster. This video is an absolute disaster. I'm gonna pretend I'm stretching. The Twisted Tea delivery truck strikes again. The last time I tried to make a video here, that truck was just idling in this parking lot and nearly ruined the video. So a very durable outsole.